Hey, my friends, how are you? So, I'm doing something a little different today. This podcast is a grab my hand, let's do this journey together kind of thing. And so, yeah, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to give you tips and tricks and bring on good speakers. But I also want you to know that, I obviously don't have all the answers and I'm just kind of doing this and winging this with you and doing the best I can from everything that, all the classes that I take and everything that I'm reading and researching and learning, but I want to do this along with you. So I thought today, for a couple of reasons, I would just share some of my past, some of my present, and part of my future with you. Part of this is because I had another podcast that I was going to do today, and I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And when I really kind of dug down deep about why, it's because I know the podcast I really should be doing it should be this one, not the one I had. And I really need to just kind of like open myself up and do this. So, one, this is a podcast. Two, I'm going to put this on YouTube and start a YouTube channel just to try to reach more people, to try to grow my community, to just try because life is all about trying. And I'm always up for a good try. So we are going to do it. So just to let you know a little bit about myself, I hate this. I don't really like going on camera, but we're going to do it because life is, again, about being brave. So I thought because of that, it would be a good time to talk. And I really feel like I'm shifting. There's some things that are shifting in my life, and I would like to share those with you. So for that reason, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my past and a little bit about how I got to be here. Maybe you've never seen me before, maybe you've never listened to me before, so I'll tell you about that. My name is Amanda. I have a beautiful family up there. And we became a family. This year will be 10 years, but we were together before then. So when the girls were 3 and 7 ish, we got together. Trevor and I got together. Before that, I had been pretty much, other than a few relationships here and there, single my whole life. And I met Trevor and we got together, and it was, he's amazing. The girls are amazing. It was great. However, we always come with a lot of baggage, right? Like I had baggage and he had baggage. And again, before I go too far, I just want to throw this out there. Like I'm letting you know the story to know where I'm coming from. As now I am a Reiki master and a self-care life coach. And so where did this come from? How did I get here, right? And hopefully that you can resonate with it and maybe be like, yeah, I had that part in my journey as well. And so that we can become community because I really feel like that's so important. So, anyways, we got together. We had a lot of baggage. Some of the baggage, of course, is stuff we can't control, outside of our control, right? There's no way we could control it. It just happened to us. And along with that baggage of stuff that we couldn't control was a bunch of stuff that we could control, but it took communication, and communication's always hard, right? Communication is so hard. So Trevor and I had a lot of learning to do and a lot of growing to do. And it didn't come fast and it didn't come easy, but we did go see a therapist together and she taught us a whole bunch of tools to use. And then we had to use them, and that was even harder. And I remember this one point where we weren't communicating very well, and that outside factor, that outside baggage was taking over our lives at the moment. And I was so angry, like so angry and frustrated and feeling so out of control. I mean, up until this point, I just had my own life. I was independent. If I wanted to do something, if I wanted to feel away, if I wanted to talk away, like no matter what it was, like I could do it, right? But at that moment, like that fight, I was just, it was too much. Been there? Have you been there where it's just too much? And I remember hitting that point, and I was standing on by our kitchen island, not on it, but by it. And I grabbed my phone, and everything was boiled up in me. And I just like slammed that phone on the counter. And in that instant, I saw red, like complete red. And I thought it scared me. scared the crap out of me. I'm like, I am so angry. I saw red. I remember I picked up my phone, which is now cracked, so great decision, and went into my bedroom and just cried because I was so scared, so scared. Now that I'm a Reiki master, I really don't think that it was like anger red. I really think it was my root chakra. Your root chakra is your bottom chakra, is represented by red. And I think that my body was really trying to tell me, like, hey, you're ungrounded. You aren't getting your basic needs met because you don't feel safe and you don't feel secure. You aren't grounded. You need to figure out life. And that is exactly what I knew I had to do. So I gathered myself. And at that moment, I said, okay, I need to start changing because I do love my life and I do love my family. What can I do? What can I do to change this? And I joined groups and I joined workshops and I read books and I took classes and I listened to podcasts. I did so much to try to figure it out. And, one of the main things to this day that I have learned is that I can't control anybody but myself, right? Like, I can't control what Trevor does or what Trevor says or what my family does or what outside baggage does. I can't control any of that. The only thing I can truly control is myself and how I regulate my systems, how I choose to show up, how I promote myself to my family. Like, I am the only one who can control me. And once I knew that in my soul and in my core, my whole life changed and opened up because it let me feel empowered again. It made me feel empowered to know, okay, there is one thing I can control, and it's me. And what happened is when I started taking control of myself and learning how to, fix myself, because I can't fix anybody else as much as I would like to. I mean, I am also a high school teacher. Trust me, I would like to fix people. I can't. I can only fix myself. So I started doing that and really learning how to regulate my nervous system and how to nurture myself and how to do self care to myself. And once I started doing that, all of a sudden, I am showing up with my family happier. And when I am happy, they are happier. I started regulating my nervous system so I could show up to my family more present, actually listening and communicating in positive ways, teaching them how to do it without actually teaching them how to do it, showing them. I had joy every day. I mean, when I was in that spot, I had to advocate for myself very, very hard to get on antidepressants because I knew I was super depressed too. So I went on Wellbutrin, and that like kind of like kind of neutraled me out, I'd have to say. So now I could feel neutral and now I could take time to take care of myself too. So there's definitely so many things I did to advocate for myself, to take care of myself, to nurture myself, and mind, body, soul. The medicine, like I said, the Wellbutrin just mellowed me out so that I was able to. And then I was able to show up to my family so much better spot. Through this, probably in like 2022-ish, I saw that a friend of mine was teaching Reiki. And I had already like really been into how to, like I said, self-care and taking care of myself. And this seemed like a nice, logical next place to go, right? Reiki. So I wasn't 100% sold at first, but my gut kept pulling me back. And when my gut tells me to do things, I usually try to listen. If you're into human design at all of this makes sense because, first of all, my profile is a 1-3, which means I love to learn and I love to teach. And that's exactly what I do my whole entire life. And I'm also a generator. So, one, I should listen to my gut because my gut and my body are trying to tell me what to do. And if something sparks, if there is a topic or a subject that sparks for me, I can work on it all the time. So, because self development and nurturing myself sparked in me, and I am a 1-3, I like dove deep into this stuff, deep into the self development. Then I learned about Reiki, became Reiki certified 1 and 2, which is just all about it's a universal life energy. It heals, it can help heal you. So what it does is it opens me up. Hey, like I can align my chakras, I can align my energy because we're all made of everything's made of energy. So with the Reiki, I can now like start pushing and pulling and shaping my energy to be more aligned, to let negative energy out and let positive energy in, and let my body, my mind, body, and soul be open to receiving healing. And it worked on myself big, big, big time. Right around this time, I started working with my naturopath doctor too. I was like, I don't want to be on Wellbutrin forever because I don't want to feel neutral. So we very, 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 very slowly, and I don't recommend this for anybody, but I very slowly weaned myself off of Wellbutrin while taking some supplements to coincide with that. And that those supplements, weaning it off, plus the Reiki, I mean, I am at this point, I have not been on Wellbutrin for a couple of years now. I'm feeling much better. I know that like when my nervous system starts, unregulating, when I'm feeling real depressed, I know I can do Reiki to myself, which is like, how amazing is that, right? And I was also able to start doing Reiki on others. And again, for me, being a teacher, also being a really big nurturer, like not only to myself, but everybody else around me, being able to do this for other people was amazing and life changing. And at that time, I also got certified to be a life coach, a life and health coach. So I went through that program too. And I was just like loving life, absolutely loving life. 2022 to 2023, I just felt like I had all this amazing energy and it was doing so many good things for me. And it really was. I will say that then I went into a little dive into how to like sales because I'm like, well, if this is what I want to do for my job, I want to be a life coach. I want to help people nurture themselves. I want to, do Reiki, then I should learn sales. And sales always has felt really, really super icky to me. So I learned a lot about it and I've come to a better place of it. There is a point this year where I had to stop. At the beginning of this year, I kind of had like to put the brakes on it. I was like, all right, this is it, it got fun and now it's not fun anymore. And I just really need to trust myself. A huge part of trusting myself was also this last year, 2023 until now. I really worked on and am still working on feeling worthy because that comes from a deep rooted place in me. I don't know if you guys feel like that or where it comes from, but I definitely know that mine comes from like abandonment issues and not feeling worthy, like I'm not enough. Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to want to join my classes? Who's going to want to join my programs? Because I'm not even worthy. So I had to work really, really hard on that. And that, looked like a lot of meditation. It looked like a lot of journaling, a lot of self development and deep diving. And I feel like I am in a much, much better place than I was. Still working on it because I feel like that's something I might work on for my whole life. It's not like the self development is a journey, right? It's not like, oh, I took the class and I am a-okay now. Like, no, that's not really how it works, right? You just keep working on yourself. And once you get to one stage and you're feeling really good, then your life might shift a little bit and you have to work on something else. And I think, that might seem frustrating and it might seem annoying. For me, it's amazing because, again, I feel like I'm here to learn and I'm here to experience life. And for me, that's like becoming the best person I can be. So then I can be the best person to everybody else as well. So I love the journey. I'm like, bring on the journey, obviously. So, okay, kind of lost because I'm like winging it today. I don't got notes. I just wanted to come on here and really like pour my heart out. So, my past, right? Like, this is where I came from. This is why my life coaching is all about nurturing. I've taken all the tools and all the strategies and put them together into a program that also it now infuses all of my Reiki information too. And I just feel like that is my past to where I am right now. My present, I've been contemplating for a long time. I kind of felt like my Reiki was in this one spot, and then my life coaching was in this other spot. And Reiki might have had like this little, like this day. We spent a day together talking about Reiki, and I gave you Reiki, but that was kind of it. And the more I go into this and become a Reiki master and kind of dive into it, again, I love to learn. So the more I am just diving into Reiki, it's like consuming me in a really good way. It's just such a gift to be able to heal myself and heal others. And the work that you can do with it, with your chakras and the layers and layers and layers that there is to do with Reiki, I am absolutely loving it. So I thought, you know what? Why keep them separate? Why not combine them? And this is where I've been this last week. I talked to a good friend and coach of mine, Darcy Elizabeth. She has been a huge part of this journey. She's also the one who taught me Reiki and got me certified Reiki 1, 2, and Masters. Um, and we just really talked about it, and she really helped me confirm that, like, just trust in me. Again, that worthy issue. Trust in me, believe in me. And what I really would like to do is be a Reiki coach, right? Like, have everything be revolve around that Reiki aspect. So that my programs, then you can get certified 1 and 2 Reiki within those programs, because I really think it's key. Like, yes, I still teach you how to different ways to journal and meditate and visualize and gain energy and learn how to play and be more creative, but also the Reiki part, because that is what opens you up to healing. So, yes, that should be a huge part of it. So, I'm pretty excited, and that's my present where I am right now. So, then my future is where I really get to infuse this. So, for example, starting in the mid end of June, I am having a Reiki certification class of 1 and 2, and is 6 weeks. And we really not only just dive into the Reiki and the chakras and the symbols and the attunements, but really how to journal and how to ask ourselves some questions to open ourselves up for healing as well, how to get creative with this and really let our creative and our play side out, and kind of introducing what I would love to do, because eventually what I would love to do is those classes, but also my 12-week program have all of that infused in it. So I feel like I'm finally on the right track. And it's not like you can like pop out of the gate and be like, this is what kind of coach I am, and this is what I'd like to do, and this is my passion. Some people might, and that's amazing. But I don't think that that's necessarily obviously how I do it. I don't know about you, but I feel like I really need to evolve and find myself more to really kind of figure out where I want to be and how I want to be. So this feels really right. This feels really natural, and it feels like where I want to be, like taking my passions, which is helping people nurture themselves and Reiki, and like combining them. So I'm so excited about this. This is definitely a future that I can see long term. It's a future that will still develop and it will still shift and evolve, because again, that's life and that's amazing. But it's like it's my block now. It's my block, and it's my starting block, and it's where we can all start. So I'm really excited about it. And my goals for this summer were to trust myself, and easier said than done, all of this is to trust myself. So part of trusting myself is saying, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to do this Reiki coaching. I'm going to trust myself and go on YouTube. And I'm going to trust myself with my podcast. I honestly was a little like, oh, nobody really listens to my podcast. I don't have that many followers. And I'm like, like whatever, I love doing this podcast. So if you're out there and you're listening to me, I appreciate you and love you so much for following, for listening, for being a part of my journey, because this is like another passion of mine. I have so much fun doing this. It so helps me with my creative side, my writing side, my expression side. And I really want this to be, a grab my hand kind of podcast. So I really appreciate you. Truly, truly, truly. And I know there's not a lot of you out there, so I really appreciate it. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start putting this out there on YouTube as well. Why not? Right? So I have to trust in myself, and I want you to trust in yourself as well. Whatever it is that you are thinking you want to try, whatever it is you're thinking you want to do, I urge you, trust yourself. Um, I sometimes do this. I don't know if it's the healthiest thing to do, but I always do like, well, what's the worst case scenario, right? What's the worst case scenario? Well, nobody watches my YouTube. Oh, well, I had fun doing it, right? So maybe think about that. Like if there's something you're dying to try and you really want to try, but you're scared because it's scary and it's nerve-wracking, think, well, what's the worst case scenario? And is that really that bad? Usually it's not. So maybe think that way. I have three goals for the summer. So one is trust, two is be present. And I think the Reiki really helps me with that. I think, you know, slowing down, I keep getting these urges and these messages to slow down. So I need to slow down and be present and really be a part, like listen, communicate, be a part of whatever it is that's going on. And the third thing is to play. I've gotten that message so much is to play. So I think for me, this is a play. For me, the classes are play, right? Um, Self-development, yeah, it can be hard. It can be scary. It can kind of sometimes be icky to some people, but it also can be fun and it can be play because you're learning about yourself and you're learning how to grow and be a better person and be a better person in your family or in your community. Like it can be fun. And that's what my programs incorporate. It's not like, all right, we're going to do 12 weeks of self development. Hang on, this is going to be a ride. No, it's like, hang on, this is going to be a ride. This is going to be fun. Because one of my main goals in life is to bring joy into every single day. And I want you to bring joy into every single day. So, thank you for hanging on to this first podcast slash video that's going to be up on that will be on YouTube. So thank you for just hanging in. Again, this was off the cuff, and I don't usually do off the cuff, so I appreciate you if it was kind of like a windy journey, but that is life. Life is a windy journey, right? And I am learning, and I want you to learn with me. I want you to grab my hand. And like, if this resonates with you on my podcast, there's a place where you can text me. I think that's amazing. On YouTube, of course, there's a place where you can comment. If you go to my website, which there's always links for, you can send me an email. Like, just reach out to me because I want you to be part of this community. I want to know what journey you're on. I want to know if I can help you, or you just need someone to listen to you, or if you need some ideas thrown at you, or you have ideas for me. Like, I definitely want this to be a two-way street. So always feel free to reach out, communicate with me. I would really appreciate it. And thank you again for listening. I appreciate you guys. This is going to air on Memorial Day weekend. So I hope you're having super, super fun, enjoying the weather and celebrating. And I love you. And I always say, choose you. You're so worth it. You really, truly are. Trust in yourself. And I really love you. So have a great day. Bye.